So you might have heard of personal sprints, and if you haven't yet, I'll leave a link down below to a really awesome podcast from Code Newbie, and I forgot the guy's name, but they go over running personal sprints. And that's what this video is going to be about. It's going to be my first personal sprint video, and I'm going to explain to you what this all means right after this. So welcome to my channel, Elevated Tech, where I discuss tech and other things and hopefully inspire you to reach your goals. So in this video, we're going to be talking about personal sprints, in specific my personal sprint for this week that's coming up, for the week of March 18th, 2018. So first things first, personal sprints, or just what are sprints? So sprints are something that's used in the Agile methodology, specifically for the Scrum framework. And sprints allow teams, specifically development teams, to run for, let's say, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, run for those couple of weeks with a certain number of tasks on their plate. And at the end of that week or 2 weeks, what they'll do is that they'll hopefully have finished all the work, present that for review, and then from there it goes on to deployment. So sprints allow teams to kind of work on a fixed feature or a schedule for them to essentially have 100% output, hopefully at the end. This keeps teams on focus, allows them to see the product vision. You can easily take this and kind of apply it to your own goals, which is what I'm going to be doing for these next couple of weeks, hopefully months. So what I'm going to be calling them, these are going to be personal sprints. There's articles out there on what personal sprints are. Essentially the same thing, you just kind of switch it. Instead of development teams, you're the focus and the person getting the tasks done for that sprint time. In addition, I'm going to be using Trello to kind of manage all of my goals. And I'm going to be using kind of a Kanban board format where I'm going to have a section that's going to list all of my to-dos, what I have to do, a section that's going to list all of my doing tasks, so things that I'm actually working on this current sprint, and then all of my done tasks, which kind of will show me, damn, I'm doing stuff right. So essentially, I'm going to go and show you guys how the sprint board looks and what tasks I'm going to be working on for this coming week of March 19th. So let's do it. One quick thing that I forgot to mention, I'm going to be running 1 week sprints. So this means, as it says right here on this chart, I'll be starting my sprint on Monday. So every week on Monday, I'll be starting my sprint. Then it'll run for that whole week until the following Sunday. Sunday, I'll look back, see what went right, what went wrong, which is called a retrospective meeting by myself, I guess. Then kind of record that video for the following Monday, make sure I have my goals set on what I want to accomplish. And that's pretty much it. It's really simple. Mine's are 1 week. You can do this on your own and make them 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever fits your fancy. But this really helps me kind of visualize what and how I'll be running. This is my Trello board, and it's called, as you can see here, Personal Sprint 03/1918, and this just means that this Trello board is going to be in effect tomorrow. Today's Sunday, so tomorrow Monday will be my first day of my personal sprint. And what I'm using here is a Kanban board sort of format, and that just means that I have different columns that allow me to easily move my workflow when I do finish things or I am in progress of different tasks. So the first card that you see right here on the left hand side, it's called the backlog, and this will just kind of house and hold all of my different goals that I want to get done, not necessarily for next week, but just any goals in general that I want to hit. It could literally be anything. I have a blog post one here, making a video, building an extension for a challenge. These can literally be anything, whether it's personal finance, learning, meetups, networking. There's so many options. So that'll go here kind of as a, hey, these are different things that I want to get done. And you kind of move them over to to-do every week as you see fit. The next column right here is a to-do column, and this one's the most important one. This kind of sets you up for the week. So on Sundays, what I'll do is that I'll look at my backlog, say to myself, okay, I want to get all of these things done, move them over to my to-do column on Sunday, so that Monday when I come in, I see that all of these are ready and for me to start working on. So for this coming week, just to review what I'm going to be working on, I have a couple lessons for the Grow with Google Scholarship. So my goal is to get these couple ones right here completed before Friday. And once that's done, I can work on that final challenge, which I want to get done before the sprint is over, which my sprint will be over on next Sunday. So that's the goal right now. And I created a label for myself as well called urgent, because I do want to finish that fairly soon, as the deadline is April 11th. So that's kind of like my top priority items right here. And for your to-do list, you want to make sure that you are placing them in highest to lowest priority. Kind of helps you see a quick view of what you want to work on for the week. Then I also have a finalized deposit on a house for rent. Posting, I want to get better at posting on my Instagram and Twitter for Elevated Co. So telling myself that I want to do 5 times a week, post something on there, and then also record those posts here, whether it's a link or a screenshot, to keep myself accountable. And the last priority item is reading 3 chapters of a book. And I do want to get better at making time for reading, just because I don't want to be staring at a computer screen all the time. So that's the reason I fit this one in here. This one is a low priority. If I don't get it done, it's not that big of a deal, but I do want to make sure that I get all of these done before Sunday. And also to mention, if, for example, I am midweek and I finish everything, like I'm just like breezing through all these tasks, I can very easily just move things from my backlog over as I see fit. When my week starts, I can go ahead and, as I'm working on things, I want to move them over to my doing column. And this just means that they're in progress. So this kind of gives me a quick view. Okay, Irma, you have 2 things that you're working on. Is there one more thing you can fit in? That doesn't really require too much attention. But yeah, so that's how the process would go. Now, once I'm done with these 2 tasks, I want to just move them over to done. And that just means that they're fully completed. I can archive these at the end of the sprint, and I don't have to worry about them again. So that's pretty cool. And one column that I added, which is kind of like just a random one that I wanted to put in there, is what I know. So this kind of goes over my schedule for the week and what I know as far as like what days do I have the most time on, what my lunch break is. Can I fit some tasks in there? Can I wake up an hour earlier so that I can work on a task from my to-do list? That just makes me see kind of where my time is going and where I can make time. That way I'm not setting myself like blocks of time in a calendar, so I can just quickly see here what I can accomplish and when. And then a random link that I put in here was Scrum versus Kanban, and that's just for myself as a personal reminder to read up on that every couple of days, make sure I really understand the difference and where they can be applied. So that is essentially my Kanban board for my sprint. As I said before, my sprint will be a week long, and it'll start tomorrow, 3/19 of 2018. And I'll leave a link to this Trello board down below if you'd like to take a look and follow along. On the same token, feel free to copy this. I do suggest that you can copy this, or I think there's a way to clone it, and kind of make your own with your own backlog, your own to-dos. Your sprint literally can be any duration of time, doesn't just have to be a week like I'm doing, but I think it's a really good way to kind of get a bigger picture, bird's eye view as to what your priorities are for the moment, what you can plan to do, and what you get done every week. On top of that, I do recommend to keep this tab open if you do make your own, and also bookmark it so that you never really ever forget that it's there. So I hope you enjoyed that video on personal sprint, specifically my personal sprint. If you want to participate, feel free to make a video just like this one, or you can leave a comment down below with the different goals that you want to hit this week in specific. Hopefully we can kind of collaborate down in the comment section, and hopefully next week when we check in, we'll have a couple of things completed. So these tasks don't have to be humongous. They can be really small things. As you saw from my Trello board, some of them aren't too crazy. They're just kind of like daily things that I should be doing. Next week, I'll be doing another one of these with kind of like a retrospective. So I'll look back and be like, damn, why didn't I get that done? Or good job, Irma, pat on the shoulder or on the back. You got that stuff done. Good on you. So yeah, I'm going to be doing these once a week, and make sure to subscribe down below to follow along with my progress and my goals, and goals will change, so it should be interesting. See you guys in the next one.